Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Fear and Panic Growing on Wall Street. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our free channel. That's right, free. We now live in an era where almost nothing is free, but guess what? This channel, free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to help spread the word. Now, let's get started. Not many people want to discuss this on the record, but off the record and behind closed doors, there is a growing fear and panic on Wall Street. You can feel it. You can see it. If you're part of the right conversations being held behind closed doors amongst the major players, then you can actually hear it. And if it's your money on the line, then you can actually feel it in your spine and in your wallet. There's a growing fear and panic rising up. People who invest in projects are more fearful than ever. People trying to raise money are more scared than ever because it's getting increasingly difficult to do so. Upper management executives at media companies whose apps aren't making any money are being laid off left and right. Do you run a company that's generating a lot of clicks but little or no money? Well, then your head may soon be on the chopping block. Do you run a law firm that is often successful at getting the verdict you need, but not very successful at getting the money that you need because the people you sue simply file for bankruptcy after you take a verdict against them? Well, I'll tell you what else is a growing fear on the street. Getting paid with, by the way, not just on the street, Silicon Valley and other heavily industrialized areas. Well, getting paid with stock or stock options. You know, these days we now live in an era where if the company offers you stock or stock options, you should just assume that you're never going to see them, never going to get them. Unless you're a marquee player at your company, unless you have very high visibility, unless you're contributing directly to the bottom line, the chances are of you getting your options or you getting stock, you know, you're more likely to get hit in the nose by a lightning bolt than to get that stock. So people used to have faith in stocks or options, but now they see how quickly those stocks collapse under the slightest pressure, under the slightest public scrutiny, under the slightest attention. You know what else Wall Street is terrified of now more than ever? They're scared to death of court-ordered forensic audits or being compelled to reveal the company data. If you want to watch a company's stock price collapse overnight, then watch what happens when a judge compels them to undergo a forensic audit. Not a normal audit, forensic audit. Ask yourself, why isn't there an SEC rule mandating that every public company be forced to undergo an annual forensic audit just to make sure everything's on the up and up? Well, we'll tell you why. Because if they were forced to do that, then most companies would see their stock price and their company valuations collapse. You would literally see trillions of dollars of stock prices and company valuations disappear. You know, it's a lot harder to lie to the media about your company's valuations after you fail an audit like that. And a lot of companies and individuals who invested in them would see their money disappear faster than ever, you know, after those results are publicized. The phrase blue chip stock, which used to mean something, means nothing now. It's basically become a synonym for fraud. A lot of people would have to grab their passports and suddenly leave the country and fly to a non-extradition country once those audit results became public. Do you know what else is causing a growing sense of panic? Well, I'll tell you. The growing legislative assault on the property rights of companies and individuals who have assets in New York, California, and some of the other insane states. They're now seeing states coming up with some of the most bizarre new attempts to deny companies and individuals their property rights in ways that are completely nuts. California, for example, is now attempting to force property owners to give away a month or two of free rent to tenants. And by tenants, we mean homeless people or drug addicts or just people who got thrown out of their last apartment. Some states are now attempting to tax citizens who are now fleeing those states because there no longer appears to be any effective law enforcement, or maybe not even effective. How about no law enforcement at all? I'll tell you another growing fear on Wall Street. Wall Street is now more fearful than ever of crazy judges and even crazier juries. And I'll tell you, here's another fear for you. The guys on Wall Street are petrified of this. And that's the explosion of temporary C-suite executives that are getting hired at these firms and then getting replaced 6 months later. Getting hired as a CEO, CIO, CFO, or any of the other execs now just essentially makes you a part of the temporary labor force at that company. You're going to get bounced in 5 or 6 months. You know, it used to be when you came home and told your wife you're the new CEO of such and such company, that meant something. It meant money, prestige, longevity. Now it means the clock is running. Now it means they're preparing to blame you for something the last guy really messed up on. Lastly, people on Wall Street are very concerned about the growing level of insanity in the political environment. They look at what they see and they see that the political world is constantly teetering on the verge of collapse. Their ideas are crazier than ever, and that makes making money more challenging than ever. With that, I want to thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure you post a link to today's show on all your social media. Thank you, and we shall see you soon. Bye-bye.